pitcher, throwing your fastest pitch ever, and suddenly you feel a sharp pain in your elbow. Just like that, your season or even career could be over. This kind of injury happens to anyone, but especially athletes that play baseball. Now I'm going to show you a quick video of a baseball player throwing 104.7 miles an hour. Alright, enough of that. Throwing 105 miles an hour makes a lot of stress on your elbow, and with the statistic of him throwing a fastball 40 to 45% of the time, over 100 miles an hour, that just adds to it. One of the common ways to fix this kind of injury is called Tommy John surgery. It was named after the first ever baseball player to get the surgery and successfully return to the game. Today I will explain why athletes need this surgery, how it affects their career, and what it is. Tommy John surgery fixes the torn ligament in the elbow called the UCL. It helps stable the elbow when throwing. Doctors replace the ligament with a tendon from another part of the body. The tendon can come from an arm, obviously the other arm, a leg, or even a donor. The doctors thread a tendon through the small hole in the bone to create a new ligament. Cleveland Clinic, in a 2025 article titled Tommy John Surgery, explains the procedure and process on their website. The article describes how Tommy John surgery reconstructs the UCL in the elbow and emphasizes rehabilitation and gradual return to sports. Now that we have learned what Tommy John surgery is, let's explore why athletes, especially pitchers, might need this surgery. Throwing a ball over and over 105 miles an hour will tell you why you need this surgery. Just constantly throwing the ball over and over and over again makes a lot of stress right in here in your elbow region, and then that will cause the tear. Young athletes are getting this injury more and more than before because the MLB organizations want harder throwing arms than ever before. Understanding why the surgery is needed brings us to the history of this surgery. The surgery is named after Tommy John. Tommy John is not good. The surgery is named after Tommy John. It was first done in 1974 by Dr. Frank Jobe. At first, doctors weren't sure if it was going to work. Tommy John is this guy. He played for the Yankees. He is popular for his surgery because his success made the surgery more popular. OrthoInfo from the American Academic of Orthopedic Surgeons in 2010 published an article, shoulder injuries and throwing athletes, on their website. The article basically explains in shoulder injuries and throwing athletes such as rotator cuff tears and labral injuries, and emphasis is proper mechanics, conditioning, and rest. So all rest and conditioning will also help with UCL tears. With the history in mind, let's take a look at the recovery process. Recovery takes about a year to a year and a half, and athletes must go into physical therapy. Players will slowly return to throwing the ball, and some athletes will never return to their full self. Risks are infection, nerve damage, and the surgery could never work. Mayo Clinic, in an article on orthopedic surgery, discusses getting athletes with UCL injuries back into sports. The article explains treatment options such as rehabilitation and surgery, including Tommy John surgery. Highlights the importance of proper recovery and gradual return to play to prevent injury. Finally, let's explore the impact on athletes and what this means for their careers. It is very common in baseball for athletes to need this surgery. This surgery saves many athletes, and some come back just as strong or somehow stronger. However, many athletes needing this surgery is very concerning. Colleagues at the Sports Health discuss the sports specialization in young athletes. They provide evidence-based recommendations warning that early specialization can increase the risk of overusing injuries and burnout, and emphasize the benefit of multi-sport participation and balanced training for long-term athletic development. Now that we have looked at the procedure, risks, and let's conclude by reflecting on the importance of proper prevention and recovery. Tommy John surgery is the surgery that helps many athletes come back from a serious elbow injury and continue their careers. It has helped change the sports medicine industry by changing a career-ending injury into something that can be treated. However, the surgery is not easy, takes a long time to recover from. It also shows the importance of how to prevent injuries and by not overusing the arm. In the end, while Tommy John surgery can fix the problem, avoiding the injury is even better in the first place.